So here's some business models that are not gonna work for like a ton of people out there. Okay, so number one, wholesale real estate. Number two, social media marketing services. Number three, like copywriting. Anything sort of service based where you're like, hey, I'm gonna create content for you for X amount a month, or I'm gonna edit videos for you for X amount a month, or I'll again write your social media post, or I'll do your email marketing. Any service based business where you are delivering some sort of social media marketing service, any of those most likely will not work for you. Even running Facebook ads, even though that's one of the easiest fucking ones you could do. Drop shipping, and remote closing. Now, you might be like, well, why the fuck wouldn't any of these work? The reason is all of those business models that I just mentioned, minus drop shipping, I can explain that one in a second. All those business models require you to reach out to people to get clients, okay? Outreach. And if you don't do outreach, you've got to attract people via, content or ads or whatever. But the outreach is the key problem. And the reason is that most people do not have what it takes to do enough outreach consistently to make it work. And on top of that, it's not just the outreach, it's the continued conversation and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and responsibility of maintaining that communication that people always fucking fail. Like 90% of people fail. It's because once you get a client, let's say it's social media marketing. Once you get the client, you first of all, you have to have multiple calls just to land that client, get them to sign the contract, get them to actually work with you. Then you have a start date. So then on your start date, that's another call that you have to schedule. If you're like missing any of those calls and you're not on top of your shit, you're fucking up already. Then you got that client, you have the onboarding call, good to go. Then you're gonna have to have multiple calls with that person, usually throughout the month, just to maintain that relationship, but also give them reporting, help them understand where everything's at. So you need to book all those calls, right? So you need to show up to all those calls, and you wanna live this life of freedom, but now you're on these fucking calls talking to your client all the time, right? And it's not just one client, because if you want to have any success at all, you need to have like 5 to 10 clients. So your weeks are filled with booking calls and constantly needing to be picking up the phone on top of sales processes. So you're doing your outreach, you're doing your sales calls, and then you're doing the maintenance on all of your clients, and people just fucking drop the ball, myself included. Like, I fucking hate that. Like, I'm driving my little kid to T-ball because something unexpected happened. I got to go drive him to T-ball, and then suddenly I can't get on a phone call with a client or a sales call or something like that. So I have to reschedule it. Then I go and reschedule it, and then that fucks something up. Or it's not that it always fucks something up. It's just that when you're pushing calls around and constantly moving your schedule and shit, that allows for fuck ups to happen. And that's what causes so many people to just not be able to handle their shit in a business like this. Like, this is for people who are fucking hustlers, who are like just the type of person who picks up the phone no matter who's calling them. They see a random number calling, they pick up the phone, right? That type of person has success in these types of business models. And the majority of people who try these business models are not that guy, and they think they can be that guy, and they try it and they quickly find out that they are not that guy, but they look to blame outside reasons, and they don't look inwards and realize that they're just not fucking that guy, right? I realized I was not that guy. I was in an agency for fucking like 2, 3, 4 years before, in service model based stuff, before I realized I was not that guy. I kept saying, like, just sack up and fucking do the work, right? And I kept pushing myself to be someone that, like, fundamentally I was not. Like, I don't like doing that shit. And now that I've admitted to myself that I don't like doing that shit, I do a fucking way less of it, right? And I'm way better at other things. So it's not, I see it happening with so many people. Like I coached a dude, he wanted to start a Facebook agency, and I coached a dude. I showed him how to get clients. He started to get clients, and then crickets, dude. The guy just fucking dropped the ball because he just stopped doing the work that it takes, the communication, the outreach, all that stuff. Like he had ads that were running that were even bringing him clients, so he barely even had to do the sales process. He didn't even have to do outreach. He was just answering calls and landing deals, and then basically trying to maintain the clients, and he was just fucking up on maintaining the clients and stuff. And I see that across the board. Like so many people fuck that process up. Like it's a torturous process. It's hard. It's a fucking grind. So that is like the main reason why people fuck up the service-based business models, because they don't have the fucking grit and like tenacity and fucking like ability to just be there like that all the time. Because again, if you're starting something out, you need to hustle through that until you can start hiring people that have that same mentality, and you can replace yourself in that situation. Most people don't even get like to the point where they have enough clients to even think about hiring or outsourcing to other shit like that. That's the main problem with that model. And then I said I would tell you about the drop shipping thing. The drop shipping thing is just fucking stupid. Like there's just, unless you have an audience and you can drive a shit ton of traffic for free, like a shit ton of traffic for free, you're not going to make that much money at all because your margins are small as fuck. Like to drop ship, like let's say you sell something for $50 and you only make $15 in profit off of that thing that you're selling after all is said and done, or selling e-com in general. Like if you only make $15 off of that, you need to sell a shit ton of those a day to make any money, right? Like you need to sell 10 of those a day to make what, $150 or something like that, so in profit. So a day, 15, bro. I mean 10 of those a day, bro. You're gonna sell 10 of those a day unless you have social media traffic coming in. And then so what's your option? Now you got to run ads. You think you're gonna be able to successfully run ads within that tiny margin and be able to get conversions on a $50 product for less than $15? So you run into the problem of traffic with drop shipping. You go like, where the fuck can I get it? And there are solutions and there are ways that people figure this out. Like I'm not like, you can be successful in almost any business and you can figure that shit out. But again, most people drop out of that shit because they just can't fucking like pursue and persist past this point and really like figure it out. And to be honest, because of those smaller margins and because of the high volume, it's pretty fucking hard for like, a beginner, someone who's just getting into business, starting out. So if you are starting out, or even if you are like an experienced marketer, like look at the business models and understand which one is going to give you the most time freedom and the most immediate success. And what do you think that would be? That would be being an affiliate for someone who has an info product that pays you a fucking fat commission would be one. Or two, sell your own info product that makes you a good amount of money, that has fat margins, so that you can spend your time and energy on something that's really gonna fucking pay you out, right? A lot of this other shit is just a fucking waste of time if you don't have the right personality for it. And even if you do, why waste your time doing the more difficult thing that has like less chances of you having success, when you could do the thing that has more chances of you having success? You could start making some more money faster, and then like pivot into something else if you want to, right? If you want to learn more about marketing, fucking running ads, creating content, driving traffic, what things to sell, what things not to sell, basically how to fucking make money online, click the link down below.